Hey, everybody, let your light shine. Steve-O behind me.
Yo.
Kids did not want to go to this, and kind of either did Steve, actually. Because guess what we're doing? We're doing another fun-filled abandoned railroad track vlog. You know, what beats one of those kind of vlogs is a roadside realignment. And stay tuned, because I saw another road where it said old, and it said the new. I'm like, why is that? So anyway, I am walking on some tracks. And I'm going to be at the it dead ends over here. We're currently in the city of La Habra, correct?
See.
All right, so.
Actually, we're right on the border of Fullerton also. So.
Oh, okay. So basically behind me, this is Imperial Highway.
That's definitely La Habra. But this part could very well be Fullerton.
All right, so there you go. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this track and find some old historic aerial views of when this track was active, and there you go. So have fun. All right, so this is what I am walking on, and as you see at the very end is a dead end. And it says here, it shows the view, what I'm looking at right now, is the end of track of the surviving remnant of the branch facing south. And I believe, if I turn the page, it's going to say it's the Pacific Electric Railroads. And actually over here, more, I think that way, Lambert is over here. There's two different tracks, and they don't join together. So I believe it's the Union Pacific and the Pacific Electric, and they ran their own tracks. I believe they joined them toward the end when one went defunct. So anyway, moving forward here, it says, it says a lumber yard on the north side of the highway receives several freight cars at a time. It has a trailing point switch, and the trains need this segment to pull forward before backing into the lumber yard spur. Now, I know you were saying the one behind Home Depot, it used to actually be utilized for delivery, and now they had a wall, so I don't think they use it anymore. But the tracks over here, once in a while, get used. It's not as busy as some of the other tracks I've seen. So, anywho, let's go check it out. All right, we also checked the geocaching app. Well, kind of really me. Well, there is one here. So let me show you that screen print. All right, so we're looking like under here, nothing. You know, we're looking for like a medium-sized container. And I was almost going to give up until I looked up here. Woohoo! Oh yeah, geocaching and vlogging, the double whammy of fun to some people. All right, here we go. It says this is a former Pacific Electric line. Originally built in 1917, passenger service ran until the late 1930s and freight service continued until 1962 when this line was abandoned. Pacific Electric used the parallel Union Pacific branch to serve Fullerton for a few more years. And that's what I was talking about, how there was a couple train tracks kind of near each other, but you knew they didn't join each other. So there were two different, that's what's interesting to me, is that two different companies build their own tracks, and their own trains are on their own tracks. Now the current tracks that I live near, I see Amtrak, and then I'll see like a Santa Fe freight line on there too. So I don't know how that works, how they share the tracks or whatnot. It says much of the surviving right-of-way travels through a residential area, and much of that segment is now the Juanita Cook Trail. And so this is over here that we were just, actually Steve-O was just asking if that was the Fullerton Loop area. And I think the Juanita Cook Trail is part of the Fullerton Loop, if I'm not mistaken. It says it is not paved and is used by joggers, trail bikes, riders, horseback riders, etc. The most distinctive feature still in existence is a short girder bridge over the hill. Short segment of the branch remains in use at the north end near the junction, the La Habra branch. So that's another time. Oh, I see. So we gotta, I was wondering what was the cutoff point here. So yeah, I'm gonna do some screenshots of the historic aerial map and show you what it used to look like right now. All right, so I was talking to Steve and I said, very interesting over there too, and how interesting this is that this, you know, that this literally dead ended. This is how it was. Why was that? So please.
Well, when they unloaded from the lumberyard over here, they had all the cars, unload a car, and then they moved the train a little farther like down the way and keep unloading the cars. And so this is just a great big long storage way for all the cars, the empty cars, until they unloaded all the cars, and then they could keep
and then
going.
They move forward and back. And then they have the switches there. So yeah, that makes all the sense from what I was reading earlier in the other page here about the switches, segments, and all that stuff. Yeah. Awesome. I never knew I had an interest in train tracks.
I'm pretty sure the whole train would come all the way down in here.
Yeah. And then go and then move to another direction
to unload, and then they back it in again and out because they wouldn't want to block that road.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
So
right,
that's probably how.
And at one time, this probably was a very busy track.
Well, Imperial Highway has always been a busy street, so
yeah,
they couldn't block it to unload a whole trailer car.
That would make sense. Okay, moving on to the next area. All right, guys, we just crossed the street and got almost hit a few times, right?
Yep.
Yeah, isn't that fun? I wanted to go across the way because I saw some switches, and they looked like manual switches. Although we saw like 3 people walking in over there, kind of, I don't know, on their own. But I'm like, why is there so much foot traffic over there? So we'll find out. But anyway, I wanted to go check it out and show you guys. All right, so that's where we were. Now we are across the way, and we are going to be walking in this direction. See, there's some dude over there. Earlier there was some dude walking that way and some dude walking that way, and I'm a bit of a snowflake, apparently. So there's some lovely trash here and there. But either way, this looks kind of cool. So it's worth it. You know, back in the time when I was like looking to get 100,000 cash fines, now I'm over 4,000 at the moment. And I would do anything for that damn cash fine. And I got stung by a bunch of bees one time. But hey, it was worth it. So I'm gonna say it's the same. I will go to scary places just to grab good footage. Well, maybe not real scary places. Anyway, moving on.
You'll go through a lot for your fans.
Yes, all my fans. I'm so dang popular. Woo! All 3 people who are watching this, thank you. So there's one switch, so interesting. But no, that can't be. Why would it? Oh yeah, that's the switch, because there you go. Look at the track. See? Ooh, and look where it goes. Boom. There's the split off. So that goes that way. There's 3 different, oh wow, there's 3 different ways to go. This is interesting. Wow. Thank goodness for that historicaerials.com website. It's really kind of cool to be able to see how it used to look. Sometimes it only dates as far back as like the 1930s, but sometimes that's enough. So there's another switch. All right, so that switches to these 2 tracks. I'm gonna go to that one right there and see this one right here and see how that just dead ends. It's very interesting. Now what's cool about this is that these tracks are still here, and when I was doing the Brea area where the tracks that Brea are now built, which is a really cool bike path, walking path, I caught it a tad too late where the tracks were already gone, but I caught it where it was still under construction, and now it's almost done, that one segment that I caught. So yeah, just pretty much dies out right here. Guess they just took it apart right here for the distribution center, which is now a CVS distribution center, but Steve said it used to be an Alpha Beta. Anybody remember Alpha Beta? Hey, boxed wine. No way. Yeah. Actually, now that I'm seeing it, it looks like a bit of a homeless encampment back there. So I think I'm gonna work my way back here. And we're gonna move on to the next set of tracks, which we're guessing this track, we're just guessing here because we're not sure, but just by the way it's going, we're gonna be over by Lambert and Palm Avenue in Lambert and Palm is Brea? Yes. Yeah, it's kind of like we're in the borders of Brea, La Habra, Fullerton. It's La Habra? Okay, so it's really the borders of La Habra and Brea area. We're thinking this same track is going to take us to where we're going to be next. And so there you go. Stay tuned. Just before we leave, I just noticed this track ends too right at the fence line here. So again, I'm going to take a picture of the historic aerial map and show you what this particular area used to look like right now. I love how we make we cross this way and people can make lefts while you're crossing the road. That's all nice and safe. Yeah. I like Mervin's Drive, and it's like no longer a Mervin's anymore. Here's another train track. So
Tracks
again,
out of service right there.
Tracks out of service. Wow. And again, like I said, I mean, there's two different tracks next to each other. So I believe the one we're going to go to is actually the Union Pacific Railroad tracks. And maybe that, I don't know. We just don't know. Anyway, very interesting. All right, we're trying to find parking by the tracks because they're literally right there. But kind of interesting, all these, it's not a hospital that we're at, but there's all these ambulances. I'll show you when we back up. I guess it's called a medical transport. So, hey, if you ever wondered where ambulances are born, this is where they're born. There's hospitals for hospitals. Who knew? All right, I'm not sure if you can see that. It does say tracks out of service. And you know what? This is the Union Pacific Railroad line. Earlier we were at the Pacific Electric. Now I had thought, see, but there's tracks over here. This is Palm and Lambert. And now here are these tracks. And so I think these tracks went to that the tracks we were just at driving past, and these tracks go to the tracks that we were walking on earlier. But hey, we'll find more out when we look at the map. Interesting to see like pieces of it gone. I'm sure it just kind of breaks off right here. It doesn't look like it continues on. Still kind of cool to see remnants of something that once was. But what they want to do, this segment, they wanted to, and I think they're still in the process of doing it, is making the tracks at Brea expand to this area of La Habra. But see, I'm reading something that was not the most current, up-to-date. Oh, hello. How do you do, mister? That was a lizard, if you didn't see that. Anyway, this is not the most up-to-date news I'm reading, but it does say, on our schedule, we're still pushing for a starting construction for sections around 2019-2020. So hey, that's we're in 2018 right now. And there's a lot of trash around me, so another homeless encampment probably. I think we'll just stay around here. It does say that now that Union Pacific Railroad is open to allowing La Habra access to a stretch of its property that crosses the community, city leaders are trying to maximize the opportunity to connect a proposal trail with Pass and Brea in the rest of Orange County. That was the tracks of Brea. Now it says, for years, La Habra tried to persuade the railroad to let it build a trail on the outermost feet of the barren land Union Pacific owns on both sides of its east-west running train tracks. Now on board, the railroad company is encouraging the city to plan a longer trail than the one originally pitched to stop at Lambert Road and Palm Street. And that's where we are right now. Well, actually Palm is just over there where I pointed out earlier. One that says that it connects the 4-mile nearly complete tracks at Brea. So there you go. It says Union Pacific doesn't want the trail to just end. And because everyone is happy with the Breas, they want it to be continuous. I think that's a great idea. It's going to connect to the OC Loop, referring to the nearly 66 miles of interlinked trails in the county that takes users from the beach to the inland cities. So, hey, I mean, I've seen the tracks at Brea. I have a vlog about it. It's really nicely done, and it would look a lot more nicer than what we're currently looking at right now, which I love looking at abandoned tracks, but I don't love looking at trash near the abandoned tracks. So let's hope that they do that. Alright guys, that concludes our fun-filled vlog about the abandoned railroads once again. Hey, I, for some reason, love abandoned railroads and roadside realignments. I know that is odd. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye! Hey guys, a quick update. I'm on my laptop looking up historic aerial views because my phone was driving me nuts. Anyway, when we were standing here at the end of the vlog on Lambert and Palm, we were standing right here on these train tracks. And if you look, it looks like the ones that went catty corner from them, they all join as one track right here. I didn't think it did that. But the other thing is, these train tracks are old. These ones right here, these are not so old. So I'm dated in 1980 right here. If you look in 1972, they don't even exist anymore. It's just this one. And if you go back in 1953, these tracks still exist. So very interesting. And then we were wondering, like, okay, where does that one track go? Because we were crossing some tracks on Harbor Boulevard, and this is the one we're standing on. And see how it curves? And if you look, keep going down. Okay, the SR90 is also considered Harbor Boulevard. And that's exactly the tracks we were looking at the second time around. We were just driving past them. And I'm going to go over to the other section real quick. Okay, this is where we were in the beginning, where we were standing at where it dead ended over here, and then we were here at all these different, like, tracks go there, tracks go there. Wow, they're going everywhere. But it looks like they're kind of like stop, like you can, they just stop at the warehouse, stop at the warehouse. So very interesting. Let's go back in time here. See, let's look up 1952. Let's see what that brings us. Nothing. It's only a track that goes straight. Let's see, sometimes the map doesn't always work. There we go. So it's only the straight track, and the ones that went this way, this way, this way did not exist. Let's see. Well, it looks like in 1963 they did start to exist. So very interesting. Oh, and the other thing, let's go into like a more later date, but we can see a track. I thought maybe this track ventured over to Lambert and Palm earlier. Well, it does pass Lambert, but Palm is that way. It keeps going. And it goes that way. And it connects with this track right here. So I guess it connects with, wow, there are so many tracks. Okay, yeah, this is the one that connects with Lambert and Palm. This is the one I thought it connected to, but no, there are so many different train tracks that all connect. Wow, who knew? And that's it. And I'm going to show you a quick map of the Pacific Electric map taken at the Polly's Pies and is now at the men's restroom. And no, I did not take that picture. Steve-O did for me a while back. So we're going to end it with that picture. So once again, thank you for watching. Bye.